Do you feel guilty about taking leisure time, about taking rest time, about taking it slow? Do you feel guilty? Do you feel ashamed? Or do you find yourself unable to enjoy that time? What is going on? Welcome to the episode of Risen Fallen that is brand new. Welcome to it. Thank you very much for joining us today. I am your host, Mark Hendrickson, and if you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now, at least having the confidence knowing that you're getting one step closer every single day. So thank you very much for coming back and supporting the cause. Hope that you guys are doing well. I know for myself, it is obviously this podcast is dropping Monday morning. But for myself right now, it's Saturday evening. I'm about to get ready for bed. And I thought I'd jump on here and record a little podcast episode for you guys. I'm really actually enjoying recording in the evenings recently. I used to do a lot of my recordings like weekend mornings and sometimes in the afternoon. Basically, I would do my journaling in the morning and kind of think about what I was going to talk about and record in the afternoon. But nowadays, I've just kind of been recording before bed and kind of thinking about, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's become just a way for me to kind of come on here and discuss what I've been thinking about recently. And so what day is it today? It's Saturday. It's the evening. And so today, I guess now that I'm on the topic of what I got up to today and how I structured my day, today, hold up, actually, I'm going to take a sip real quick. I do have to say this. I do have to admit to this. That was my first couple sips of just water today. I've been drinking a lot of coffee as usual today, and that was my first little bit of water. I just realized as I took a sip of that and realized how good it tasted, I realized that was, the first sip of water, and that's why it tasted so good, is because my body is needing it. But, so today was Saturday, and so I actually ended up having a lot of leisure time, a lot of it was a slower day for me. And so, I spent a lot of time. I did go first thing in the morning. I went to the gym and did some training, and then I came home, took a shower, got ready for the day, and did a little bit of work on the podcast here. And then I just basically I went and hung out with my parents. Teddy and I went to their place and chilled out there, had some chicken sandwiches, and beautiful Saturday morning. And then afternoon as well, we went for a little walk with my dad and the dogs, and it rained on us, but we had jackets, we had hoods, we're good. So and then we came back here and I just hung out with Teddy for a little bit, a couple hours. Again, I was editing clips while she was chilling on the couch over there in my office. We were just kind of chilling out. So good leisurely Saturday, and now I'm chilling out, talking to you guys, hanging out with you. And I was sitting here reflecting on my day and what I got up to and how much work I got done as I made a little to-do list for myself for the evening. And I was thinking about my day and how my day was basically filled with a lot of leisure time today. And it was one of the first times in a long time that I didn't feel guilty about it all day. Like I was actually still being able to be present. Obviously I had the odd thought of things that I have to take care of, things that are stressing me out, things like that. But, I was with my family. I was with my, my girlfriend. I was with the dogs, and I was able to stay present and stay in the moment and appreciate and enjoy the moment as opposed to be anxious, worried, or stressed or thinking about other things, looking at my phone, things like that. And I think that a lot of the times with leisure time and the times that we have where we slow down and sometimes rest or recover and recuperate, I think a lot about those times. I think about the fact that we feel so guilty or sometimes even ashamed of the days where we slow down and do less things. And a lot of the times, what this comes down to, we talk about having balance in our lives and achieving some sort of balance, right? And what a lot of that comes down to, I believe, is being out of balance, having an imbalance in your life. So you hear a lot of times people talk about this idea of like, wasting their time, wasting their day, or some people don't pay attention to that at all and they just do it. But other people feel like they're wasting their time or wasting their day when they're doing nothing, when they're having leisure time. You talk to somebody who's of a busy mindset and they talk about how busy they are all the time and you're like, dude, you seem stressed. You seem like kind of wound up. Like, do you ever take time to relax and do you take time to unwind at all? And they'll tell you like, oh, I don't have time to unwind. I feel bad. Or sometimes they'll even go as far as to say like, I don't like to relax. I don't like to unwind. And I've been there myself. If you talk to a lot of my friends, they'll probably say that about me, but truth be told, it's not true. But, like a lot of the times you see these people or hear these people say, I don't even want to relax. I don't even want to unwind. And a lot of the time that stems from feeling guilty and feeling ashamed of not doing anything. And I was thinking about this idea and this concept, and I was trying to think of why we feel that way. Like, obviously to run on all cylinders and to be firing on all cylinders all the time is a pretty, obviously it doesn't take a genius. It's a simple calculation to understand that that's going to lead to burnout. And so I think okay, obviously rest and recovery and these types of things are necessities. So why is it that something that's necessity to us can sometimes feel, guilt-ridden or shame-ridden and delivered to us like laced with shame? It's like a bad drug, and I think that a lot of the time that guilt and that shame that surrounds leisure time and guilt that surrounds rest is due to imbalance. I think that a lot of the time it's due to imbalance in our lives. And what I mean by that, obviously, is, I think that a lot of the time, especially if you're that type of person that's, busy on the go, I think that a lot of the time it's easy to fill our schedules with important tasks and urgent tasks that we talked about, on the last solo episode. But I think that a lot of the times when we're busy and when we're, stressed out in life, we fill our days up with tasks that can be important and sometimes urgent. And they're kind of habits or behaviors or things like tasks to do that really just keep us almost, proverbially treading water. It's kind of something that just kind of maintains the state of where we're at. And I think a lot of the times, all of us understand that, staying still, homeostasis, maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I think that, being stagnant is actually impossible. You hear the sayings or the concepts of like, you're either growing or you're shrinking. You're either gaining or you're losing. You're either, blah, 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 blah. It's either forward progression or regression, right? And I think that a lot of the times, some of the important habits or behaviors or tasks that we fill our days with are important and they're urgent. Things like taking care of the dishes, taking care of the laundry, taking care of this, taking care of that, doing all these little things. Maybe it's related to your work, like working 8 hours a day, paying your bills, doing those, fucking necessities, those things that literally just keep you treading water, that keep you maintaining exactly where you're at. And then we do those things, which obviously if you fill all of your time with tasks that keep you exactly where you're at, you're still using all your time, you're still using all your energy, so you're still going to get burnt out and you're still going to need rest or recovery. But when you take that rest and recovery, you're going to be thinking about how you want to actually progress in life. But you're not progressing because you're using all your energy. You're burning yourself out. And what are you doing? You're doing all these things that are needed to do. They're necessities. And so it's this constant cycle of, not being able to keep up. Like you're just trying to keep up all the time and you're sprinting to keep up. And then because you're sprinting all the time, you're getting burnt out, you're getting tired, and then you need to rest. But when you need to rest, the rest of the world is continuing to go past you. And so you feel this guilt and this shame because even though you're sprinting, your output is so high, you're not doing the right movements. You're not doing the right tasks that are going to push you forward. Does that make sense? And so I think a lot of the times what we need to do is I talked about doing important and urgent tasks last week. And I think that now it's kind of time to even dive deeper into that and to look at the important and the urgent tasks and break them down into, which of these tasks are helping progress me in life and push me further, and which of these tasks am I doing that I probably have to do no matter what, but how many of these tasks are just keeping me where I'm at, like keeping me treading water, and what are some of the things that I can focus on instead of just treading water? Like, how do I turn this into like I don't know in swimming terms what that means, but like, forward progression. So I think that that's part of it. Obviously, if you that's in the mindset of like if you're already grinding your fucking ass off, if you're working your ass off, like I said, like all day you're doing things, but they're just things that are maintaining exactly where you're at. And then the other side of it is like, look, if you're not working at all, like if you're not even working hard, then there's no way to achieve balance by just chilling more and saying like, oh, I just need to balance, man. I just need to, because I feel like a lot of the time balance is used as an excuse to do no work. Balance is just used by a lot of people to justify their laziness. And, it's funny how you never hear people using balance to justify working their ass off. You never hear the guy that's like, hey, how come you weren't able to come to this party? You were just working. Like, don't you care about us? And he's like, oh, I was actually just trying to achieve balance. Like, I chilled too much this week. Like, I actually just needed to work harder and I needed to work more to achieve my balance. Like, you never hear balance being used as a justification to work more. You only ever hear it as a justification to work less and to be lazy and to just do nothing. And I think that that's why a lot of the time it has this stigma attached to it where we actually feel guilty and we actually feel, shame around sometimes, albeit well-deserved rest. And I think that that's why is because it's been co-opted and, as this different ulterior movement of just like doing less shit, doing less work, and then having to, being able to pat yourself on the back by being like, oh, I'm just achieving my balance, like good on me. And I think that it's important then to define what balance means. Like obviously, if you were to think about like the mathematical like balance would be like equal distribution on either side so you achieve balance, right? And so what that means, I would ask, people that make that claim, like if they work as hard as they chill, if they work as long as they chill. And I think that that's just something to consider. And so I think that a lot of the times people have this idea of like, it's unhealthy to think of it in terms of earning your rest. But I truly do believe that, subconsciously you're probably keeping score. And I think that deep inside, am I chilling right now? Am I playing too many video games? Am I doing a little bit too much leisure time? Am I, watching too much Netflix? Am I watching too many YouTube videos? Like, inherently deep down inside, do you have work to do? Do you have shit that you could be using your time more effectively achieving? Do you have a lot of unanswered questions that you want to go and research and learn about? Like, do you want to expand your brain and expand your consciousness? Do you want to learn more about the spiritual realm? Do you want to learn more about religion? Do you want to learn more about, define really, how much work are you really doing? And do you think that this leisure time is really justified as much as you think that it is, or as much as you'd like to convince yourself that it is? And I think that when thinking about these types of topics, when you're thinking about leisure and you're thinking about rest and recovery, like R&R, like a little bit of whatever that means to you, I think that what it really comes down to is, when you're thinking about rest and leisure time, the purpose of it, the purpose that it serves, is to make life more sustainable. You know, you probably ask, like, what are we trying to sustain? And it's like, well, all the fucking work that is required to be a successful and happy and fulfilled human being. You know, that's what you're trying to sustain, is how much work it fucking takes to achieve that. Because it's a lot of work to achieve being a happy and healthy and fulfilled human being. And in order to sustain how much work that is, you're gonna have to rest. You're gonna have to recover, because working takes a toll, you know, on your brain, on your body, on your energy levels. It's a no-brainer. So I think that a lot of the time, if you're feeling guilt, if you're feeling, you know, anxious, if you're feeling shameful or anything like negative, you know, if there's a connotation that's negative around your leisure time and your rest and your recovery, I think that you really have to look into the purpose of that rest and recovery. What are you resting from? What are you resting for? Are you going to work hard tomorrow? Did you work hard yesterday? Do you really earn this rest? And if you didn't, then it's a no-brainer why you don't feel good about doing it, why you can't actually enjoy it. And if you truly did earn this rest, and you're going to obviously use this resting time to recover and work your ass off tomorrow, then there's no reason to feel guilty about it. And so that's all I got going on for today. I will let you guys go. On that note, I will chat with you guys on Thursday. Share this if you felt like it was useful, if you feel like someone else needs to hear this message. And on that note, much love. Peace out, you beautiful human beings. I love you all. Bye.